Thank you, sir. Thank you for your testimony from all the witnesses. We'll now proceed to the question and answer session. Mr. Redmond, I first want to say I appreciate your testimony. You made me think of my grandpa Corb that had a first grade education, who was a truck driver. He hauled water for his neighbors who did not have running water, and he couldn't read. He couldn't read or write, but he would memorize words, and that's how he would drive. But he provided a solid living for my mom's family, and I'm very grateful for that, so it really made me think of him. There's a long-running myth that the road to success in life, to a lucrative career and financial well-being, must run through a 4-year college degree program. We know that a 4-year college degree is not necessarily a benefit to everyone. And looking around at what is happening on college and university campuses across the country right now, I'm not sure who would even want to send their children to be exposed to that. Based on your years of experience and knowledge of America's workforce and small business needs, can you talk about the impact of expanding 529 accounts to cover technical skills and real-world training?
Sure. Thank you, Chairman Smith. Easily, actually. We have quite a bit of students. In fact, I just thought of one in my head as you were speaking. Her name is Alania, who's a current student at our school. She went to nursing school at first. It didn't pan out. It became expensive. There was other reasons why that she needed to leave. You know, had she had some type of funding like this 529, she could have just easily paid for trucking school and gotten her CDL. So I'm actually glad to say also, just as of yesterday, she just got pre-hired for a company. And what pre-hired means, for those who don't know, it just means you're conditionally hired at a trucking company, ready to go as soon as you graduate. So I think that this, the 529 plan should be expanded for folks like Alania.
Thank you. Dr. DeAngelis, I have a bit of a similar question for you. Can you talk about what you see happening at the K through 12 level in our education system, as well as what is going on across college campuses right now, which make expanding 529 accounts to cover homeschooling or technical skills training instead of leaving families stuck with the college or university option make a lot of sense?
Yeah, it totally makes a lot of sense. And look, there's been a lot of learning loss over the past couple of years because of the teachers' unions induced school closures. We basically had 2 weeks to slow the spread in some places, turned into 2 years to flatten a generation. And the teachers' unions traded in kids' education, 2 decades of learning, for nearly $200 billion in so-called COVID relief in March of 2020. So with expanding school choice, we could recoup some of that learning loss, but also allow families to choose schools that align with their values and best meet their needs in other ways. Obviously, when parents get more freedom in their kids' education, they're going to attain better results because parents know their kids better than anybody else, and they care about their kids' educational needs than anyone, particularly more than bureaucrats sitting in offices hundreds of miles away. And in Florida, where Harris is from, there's 11 studies out of Florida, 10 of them finding statistically significant positive effects of private school choice competition on the outcomes in the public schools too. So school choice is a rising tide that lifts all boats. And with bottom-up accountability, allowing families to vote with their feet to the providers that best meet their needs and align with their values, you don't even have to switch a school for the public schools to up their game, because instead of labeling parents as domestic terrorists when they're upset about something, instead they will actually have an incentive to listen to those needs of parents before they even take their money elsewhere.
Ms. Varma, you come before the committee with an inspiring story. Thank you for that. Having experienced the success of the Scholarship Tax Credit Program in Florida, similar programs are underway in 20 other states as well. Based on your experience and on what that program meant for your family, can you speak to how Congress should consider expanding access to more school choice nationwide?
Yes, thank you, Chairman Smith. Yes, I know that Congress should expand parental choice in education through the Educational Choice for Children Act. This will not only allow the funding to go to states that already have smaller choice programs or have choice programs, but it will go to states that don't have any choice programs. And this makes the difference. And I always say this, and it sounds dramatic, but this is the difference between life and death for a lot of families. Like, this has saved so many families across this nation. And there's so many stories of parents that I've met and students that I went to school with where their parents were homeless and they went to school with me, or my own family where we came to the United States very, very poor. And it makes a difference between you growing up in poverty, on drugs, going into prison system. And so this expansion, this will allow families and states all across this country to be able to send their kids to school that best fits their needs. And I think that we can all agree that we would want what's best for our children.
Thank you. Ms. Sedlar, 529 accounts have been extremely helpful to families looking to cover educational expenses, but we know more can be done. As a parent who has had to weather the storm of finding a better, more suitable school option for your own children, can you speak to how additional financial flexibility would support parents? Specifically, how would expanding 529 accounts to expenses like tutoring and educational therapy help American families?
Thank you for the question. We all know life throws us curveballs. Things happen that are beyond our control. I don't think we ever saw a pandemic coming our way, but yet it threw our world and our children's lives just into a tizzy for how long? And now we're still bearing the after effects of that situation. I would suggest that in the same vein, you don't know what your child is going to need as they develop. You don't know what course your child's life is going to take necessarily. And so flexibility is critical in allowing parents, we know our children best. We're the ones who are up with them at night. We're the ones who know their mood swings. We're the ones who know what treats they like when they're having a bad day. We are the ones who are there at ground zero, living with the after effects and the situations that adversely affect our children's lives. We are the ones best equipped to be able to navigate and quickly provide options to our children when they need them without having to wait for permission or approval from anyone else. And that is critical.
Thank you.